to get a take on what the president said, what it means to us as a country, Democrat, legend, strategist, James Carville.
Bill O'Reilly slams woke dem lunatic James Carville live on stage. In a heated debate over Trump's first 100 days, James Carville completely melts down, ranting about trade wars and economic doom, like it's the end of the world. But Bill keeps his cool, calmly dismantling the hysteria with facts, logic, and just the right touch of sarcasm. Trump's taking on real issues, and the left can't handle it.
Good to see you, sir. The basic premise you heard from the president is we were getting killed on trade. Somebody had to do something. It's risky, but I'm all in for America.
Well, you know, as we're saying, hurricane country, he was speaking 200 words a minute with gusts up to 350 words a minute. But he sounded like a guy that lost 15 points on his job approval and is presiding over 3/10 minus negative economic growth. So he says we were losing $5 billion a day to trade. Okay. The market lost $5 trillion. Now, I'm just as Cajun math, but I think $5 trillion is more than $5 billion if I just take him at the word.
That's not a permanent loss, though. And well, you come back in a heartbeat.
So you may.
So what's
but if you lose, if it goes down 12% and then you come back 10, you're still down 2.
Then he loses the midterms.
We'll see. We'll see what happens in Virginia. We got plenty. We got plenty of football left to play.
Cuomo's question is, look, he's trying to right some wrongs, and when you do that, you're going to run into headwinds. You know that.
Oh, wait a minute. We had what the economists call the economy that was the envy of the world. Okay? Does anybody look at the U.S. economy now and say, we're the envy of the world? We've lost all of this market share. We have negative economic growth. We're installing a policy that hasn't worked yet and to try to corn laws in England. And so we're starting a trade war that have no idea what he's doing. And now he's saying, well, maybe you're only going to get $2 for Christmas and it might cost you a little bit more. Okay, well, I'm 80 years old, so I'm not worried about the price of dollars that much right now. But what's working here? Nothing.
So what would you do? What would you do?
Well, first thing, I would have never started a trade war.
Okay, so you're okay with $1 trillion going out more than comes in?
You know, a prosperous nation is always going to buy more from an unprosperous nation. We're always going to buy more T-shirts.
Right, so
well, let me finish, man.
No, go ahead.
I'm just giving you the rule of trade. We're going to always buy more T-shirts from Sri Lanka than Sri Lanka's going to buy Boeing aircraft from us. And the fact that you do have a trade deficit is an indication that you have a prosperous country and you buying things that come over here.
Okay, so you're fine with it. You're fine with the $1 trillion, and Biden was fine with it because he didn't do anything.
Well, first of all, I am not fine with starting a trade war.
Okay.
That is an utter disaster.
Big gulf.
You know, when my guy was president, you know, I always tell people, what made y'all worse? The peace or the prosperity? There is not a single economic indicator where Democratic presidents do not massively overperform Republican presidents. You look me up, you check me out on every possible thing from GDP growth to job growth to stock market growth to anything you can think of, including deficits.
Does that include Joe Biden?
That Democratic presidents and take any time frame you want. I have no idea why anyone that cares anything about the economy would ever vote for a Republican for president.
I don't care what cherry-pick stats James Carville throws around about Democrat presidents supposedly outperforming Republicans. Maybe they're true, maybe they're not. But here's what I do know. I lived under Joe Biden, and I lived under Donald Trump, and life under Trump was flat out better. Bill O'Reilly nailed it. Trump isn't the problem. He's the one finally taking on the real problems. While the middle class was getting squeezed and billionaires kept getting richer, Democrats were busy pushing policies that rewarded Wall Street and punished working families. That's the bottom line. Carville's still stuck in the fantasy of the Bill Clinton boom. Meanwhile, the Democrat Party walked away from its own voters a long time ago, and America is finally waking up.
Let's deal with what we're dealing with. Let's set the table with what the problem is, okay? Because I think that the space that's being made for Trump is that he's picking on the right problem. I'm not talking about trade. In this country, the fastest growing socioeconomic group is billionaires. This was a middle class motivated country. I never liked that word. I think you should just say the majority. The imbalance is real, okay? It's felt by people. It makes them angry. What do you do about it if not what Trump is doing? So Trump, you don't like what he's doing. What would you do because the issue beats you?
It's an excellent question. The first thing I would do is I would not extend these billionaires' tax cuts, and I would not pay for them by clobbering the middle class and the lower middle class by cutting Medicaid expenses, of which
he said he wasn't going to cut Medicaid.
Go watch the budget that's been submitted. It's already got 600. He said he was going to end the war.
There's nothing about cutting Medicaid in the budget.
Did
this
he
is
say
just
or not
propaganda,
say? Did
Jim.
he say I'm not? Did he say or not say I'm going to end the Ukraine
bunch of
war?
bull, and you know it.
No,
you can't. You can't say it's in the budget. There's a Medicaid cut when there isn't.
Excuse me for
I thought
speaking
you
while
were
you were
the bouncer.
interrupting me.
I am. This is ridiculous. And he does it every night.
Can I make a point?
Yes, go ahead.
He was going to end the Ukraine war on day one.
Oh, come on.
Oh, you
It's
didn't say that?
absurd.
But
What did Biden do for 4 years in there? Nothing.
I didn't
drive
say
me
that.
nuts.
He said he was going to end the Ukraine
can't
war.
tell by your
Please
demeanor.
fact check me. Somebody look
Very
it up on
calm.
your cell phone. Did Trump say I'm going to end the Ukraine war on day one?
And I was
Hey,
going
if
to
you-
wear an LSU T-shirt, but I'm not now.
You don't have to.
Can I ask a quick question?
We'll get over it. We
You
have
got to
two-
fight to
two
get into
Heisman
this.
Trophy
I'm not going
winners
to
last
fight.
five
James,
years.
can I ask
get
a quick
in.
question? I'm not asking as if I know the answer. I'm just asking you.
Okay.
There's a $37 trillion deficit. Chicken's going to come home to roost. Eventually, the American citizens going to have to pay for it, whatever.
Correct.
The point that I'm asking is this. What level of culpability do you attach to the Democratic Party in contributing to that national debt?
Probably 35%. You can go
35 to 65?
Yeah, you can go back and look at deficit growth under Democratic presidents and deficit growth under Republican presidents. It's actually a figure that you can see. And you can look at it over 75 years, you can look at it over 50 years, you can look at it over 25 years, in any time frame that you want. And I'm sorry, but they are facts out there. And they're indisputable. No one can dispute that. There's been volumes of research done on this. And right now, the extending these tax cuts are going to easily be $4.5 trillion. Easy. And then where are they going to get the money? It's a billionaire bailout.
So, James Carville wants you to believe Trump's tax cuts are just a billionaire bailout. Maybe, maybe not. But here's the real question. What exactly did Democrats do with all those extra taxes they took from the rich? They didn't fix your schools. They didn't lower your grocery bill. They shipped it off to Ukraine, to Israel, and to fund more wars. So let's be honest. If the government's just going to waste the money, maybe it's better if the people actually keep more of it in their pockets. Maybe the average American will make smarter choices with their own money than DC ever could. Hey, let's wait and see how life feels under Trump's tax cuts. What do you think? Are these cuts a lifeline for working people or just another break for the rich? Drop a comment, hit like, and subscribe if you're tired of the lies.